Hey guys, well today is the day. Today is the day that the Camaro will see the track. So this will be our final update prior to running it. And so unfortunately by the time you guys actually watch this, the thing will have already ran. So there's no going back now at this point. We're pretty well committed. It's mostly done. Only got a few other little things to still knock out. We'll talk about those as we walk around. As you guys can see, I got all the painting done. It was a theme inspired by my wife and daughter. They wanted purple and white. And so I said, okay, well those are colors I typically don't use. So I had to figure out how I was going to get creative and use them, and I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. It is definitely all for him racing fashion of going all out to try to win our best paint contest that they have at the fair. So hopefully with a little luck we'll be able to pull off a win there in that department, and then if we can win anything else it's all just gravy. So what have we done since the last video here? So it's been a lot of more of the little things. Painting was the big one. That's where I spent a lot of time. Spent a couple evenings out here just doing a lot of the painting. It just took a fair bit of time to be able to get that all knocked out and done. But we've gone ahead and we've got foam in the door now. We've got the wiring a little more tidied up. We've got a switch now for the electric fan. Got the gas tank all finally strapped down and covered at this point. New wheels, we got those put on the front wheels and tires. They are 14-inch rims and tires, so there's quite a bit more clearance now, as you guys can see. But fun fact, you know we had those super tall tires on the front? Well, they must have been stuffed with a smaller tire, because when I put these smaller ones on, the bumper height actually measured the exact same height as when I had the big tires on. So that was pretty a pretty major surprise in my opinion. I was expecting it to really drop the front end down, but it really didn't. It maybe a quarter of an inch, you know, it's not much, if even worth talking about. So these tires I think will work out fine. The front end still is sitting at a pretty reasonable height. It's taller than some of our full-size cars that we've ran in the past, are about the same, so I'm pretty happy with that. It could be maybe a little bit taller, but there's not a whole lot more room for travel in this suspension. I may have been able to push another half-inch out of it, but it's just not worth the time. Under the hood, didn't really do much other than just cleaned up wiring, again for the fan and everything else. Got our logo and all these different shapes painted on. If anybody's interested in how to do that, I can maybe try to comment below or something and kind of give you guys a bit of an insider thing on how I did that. And we'll be posting, I'm sure, some pics of this car and the build along the way on our Facebook, so be sure to check that out too. Same thing on this side. Got a matching wheel and tire on this side as well. Lots of good clearance. We did a little more pre-bending around the wheels just to get more clearance prior to putting those on in the first place as well. Batteries. I asked if I could run a second battery to help with the fact I've got so many auxiliary circuits, the fuel pump and the electric fan and no alternator. The promoter said sure, no problem. So I put that in a box here. Hopefully that all passes as it should. I don't see why not. We just gotta finish hooking this thing up. I was having it on the charger, so we're gonna go ahead and get that all hooked up and covered, and that here in a little bit. Got a mount for a GoPro mounted up. It's gonna be really simple, and we'll see how well that works. There just wasn't a whole lot to bolt to up here. The main structure pieces are really thick, and just wasn't sure it was worth trying to drill all the way through all that, and it was getting kind of late last night when I was trying to finish that up. Also got some holes there in the roof as well for a roof sign, so we'll get that bolted on when we get to the event. And that was sitting over here on the floor. And again, you know, it's got the gas tank and stuff covered up. Got some tools sitting around. The truck's already partially loaded. Already got our generator in there, winch, those sorts of things. The big hammers and pry bars, that's all been loaded up last night to save me some work this morning. So all I have to do is pretty much grab the toolboxes and then check tires, and we'll be ready to go. So there we go. You guys have already seen the intricacies of the build and things through the other videos. This is mostly just showing you the paint at this point, and a few little minor things that we wrapped up since the last video. So we're pretty excited. This thing, I've never built a Camaro, so we're gonna all try it together. Done a lot of research online, trying a few things that may or may not work. We'll find out all together. It may be a short run, who knows. We may do really well. With Derby, there's always a luck factor and who's out on the track with you and how their cars are put together or how well they run. So let's just hope that this thing holds up, and if nothing else, we put on a show for the fans. So there you go, guys. There is the Camaro, an update. I will be sure to post a link to the race itself, the Derby itself, that is, and also try to get an aftermath video so you guys can see how this thing held up, what went wrong, things to watch out for, etc., etc. So hopefully you guys have a great day, and until the next video, we'll talk to you later, guys.